So thank you all so much today. We are actually at the View, and I have this amazing guest, Uncle Dan, the tax credit man, and then I have Lisa, the security expert, privacy security expert, I should say. So we're going to kick off this conversation with some excitement, and I want to pass it over to Lisa and have Lisa introduce herself.
Hey everybody, I'm Lisa Loud, and I'm into crypto. I've been in crypto in the last 6 years, and really trying to make the world a better place through blockchain technology, which is very possible, I'm telling you. But there's one big caveat. We got a big problem with privacy as blockchain becomes more popular. We'll talk about it some more.
I love that. And Lisa's going to break down everything that you guys need to know about privacy. Let's pass it over to Mr. Uncle Dan. Introduce yourself.
Hello there. I am Uncle Dan, and I am a person in here that loves to help companies save money and get money back in the form of tax credits and tax refunds from the government and private industry. There's billions of dollars out there, but most small business owners have no idea how to access it. And that's what Uncle Dan and UncleDanConsulting.com does.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Uncle Dan. So Lisa, can you tell us a little bit more about your background and why privacy is important?
Yeah, sure. I came from a background at Apple and then PayPal, worked there for many years. And in 2017, I decided, okay, PayPal's not going where I want it to go. I left and joined the crypto world, the crazy world of crypto.
Welcome.
And since then, I've just been in crypto, working on BitMEX and Shapeshift. And what I noticed is that people are kind of sleepwalking into this new reality where blockchain is everywhere. I mean, it's coming. We're not going to avoid that. We don't know how fast it's coming, but it's going to be here. And when that happens, what we don't realize is that we've lost all our privacy rights. So now I am touring the world talking about how important privacy and blockchain is and trying to wake everybody up to the fact that we're losing our rights and we got to do something about it.
Why do you think it's important to preserve our rights, Lisa?
Okay, well, let's say you're in a taxi and you pay for your taxi using blockchain. What you don't realize is now that taxi driver knows your entire financial history. It's like you gave them your bank account. They can tell where you're going, what you're buying. That's not something you want, right?
I agree.
That's the new reality we're facing, and nobody realizes it. So we got to wake up.
So how do we make sure that our data and our privacy is secure?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because scrt.network is like the modern day knight in shining armor. We are coming to the rescue, providing confidential computation as well as privacy at the foundational layer 1 of the blockchain.
I love that. And Dan, we want to get to know about how you help these people save money. Like, tell us more about all the amazing stuff that you do, Dan. And we're going to get back to Lisa and privacy.
All right. Well, as I said earlier, there's a lot of money on the table for the small business owner. And one of the big issues with small business owners, especially when they're starting off, is how do I get access to this money? And so that's what my company actually does, is we have several programs that are going to give you money back just for being in business, right? Especially if you've survived COVID, that's one type of tax credit. But the more recent and the ones that are more related to the Web3 space are tax credits that are what's called R&D tax credits. I know it sounds like technical with the guy in the white jacket and all that, but it's not. It's any type of new process. Let me tell you how popular it is, on a larger scale. Microsoft, they got back $8 billion in R&D tax credits last year. Amazon got back over $10 billion in the same tax credits. Well, what's wrong with a company that has maybe 5 or 10 employees getting back 100,000, 50,000, $500,000, 1 million, 2 million? This is on the table. It's a check with your name on it that's going to come back from the IRS. So if you are that business that actually paid taxes or paid payroll taxes as a startup, you have no idea the amount of money that may be coming back to your company. And that's what we're here to, is to educate you on the different programs that can help you out like that.
So Dan, explain this to me. So you're telling me Amazon got 10 billion back and Microsoft got 8 billion. How do I go about doing that for my company? Do I need to hire your firm for the consulting? Like, tell me what that process is like so I can actually get some of this money back from my business.
Generally, a company would have to have at least 5 W-2 employees And that's as a start, because what you're doing is you're recapturing the different processes your company is doing in the technology world. So any type of process that's just going to be different that you're bringing to the table, the government basically says we're going to reward you just for doing that. It's all about the ingenuity of your company. Anything new, and so again. That's why you have to go through an audit process in order to get it. But, many companies, I would say about 75% of the companies out there may be eligible to do it. So again, it's just knowing and asking the right questions and finding out if you may be. Now, there are other things we do as well, where you may have as little as 1 or 2 employees that are additional different types of tax credits. But again, there's tons of them out there. There's tax credits if you want to hire new employees for your company. The government will pay for that half the time. So again, there's a lot. I don't want to get too much into generalities, but I'll tell you, you just got to kind of do your diligence and reach out to somebody that understands that. And that's what I'm here for.
I love that. Lisa, do you have any questions for Dan?
Yeah, I do, because I have a company in Canada, and we have a really well-defined process for getting R&D credits there. I did not know there was anything in the U.S. to do the same thing. Do you have to be a U.S. company to get these?
You have to be a resident of the U.S.
Right.
Yes.
Resident of the
But
US.
there's so many companies out there. Like these companies here, they may be starting off. Like take the R&D tax credit. You may not be making money now, but you can go backwards for 3 years, right? So you start making money next year, this year, and then you're like, hey, I can go backwards and get that money, and then you can also go forward for 20 years. This is a permanent tax credit. So again, you get it 1 year, you're going to get it every year.
Yeah.
So I even have a question for you, Lisa. Do you think companies that are making sure like they have that privacy, do you think they're potentially missing out on some of this money, or do you think like?
Yeah, definitely. I've got a whole ecosystem of companies that are built on our layer 1 ecosystem, our layer 1 foundation. So I represent probably 12 to 15 different small companies that might be able to benefit from these R&D tax credits. So I'm taking all this in because I want to take this back to my ecosystem and tell these guys, you know what, you can get some money back.
And then I would even love to hear more about the specifics of what you do as well with helping these companies understand why privacy is important, in addition to, helping them get some of their tax credits from Uncle Dan.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of use cases that need privacy in the blockchain world. Casinos is a great one. We're in Las Vegas. Let's talk about casinos. If you have online gambling and you have no privacy, it means someone else can look at your poker hand, for example. Imagine that. How easy would it be to win at poker if everyone knew your cards? That's not possible.
So what are some of the things that us as individuals and companies need to do to make sure that privacy is at the forefront?
We just need to start talking about it, about how privacy is going away. We need to become aware of how privacy is going away, because our layer 1 blockchain has a whole ecosystem. We have DeFi apps, we have gambling apps, we have voting apps. Anything that requires privacy that is built on blockchain or could be built on blockchain needs to be built with privacy as the foundational layer. So we need more people to come and build on privacy blockchain.
So how can companies learn more about how you can help them acknowledge what they need to do for privacy, maybe hire you or get the consulting they need for that privacy? Can you walk us through the step-by-step process briefly of how you would help them ensure they have that privacy that they need?
Yeah, you don't need to hire us. We're an ecosystem. We're a foundation, not for profit. And what we do is we try to spread the message about privacy. We teach people, educate people on how to build on our network. And to join our community, you just need to come and check out our website, scrt.network, secret network, and join our community, join our Telegram group, start the conversation about privacy. And that's the reason I'm here in Las Vegas, honestly, today, because I want to talk to brands and companies who are building in this space and aren't thinking about privacy yet. Because they will be. They will be thinking about privacy in the future. And if they're ahead of the game, they'll be one of the most popular with their customers when the privacy doo-doo hits the fan.
I love that. And Dan, what would you say? Like, how can we, in addition to businesses having privacy, how can they benefit from this capital, these tax refunds from working with you?
How they can benefit basically is they can improve their cash flow, basically, number one. If you're getting money back, there are so many companies out there that are, they're doing what they do. You're paying employees, you're paying overhead, you're paying all the expenses of just running your business, and then you look up, the owner at the end of the year, he hasn't made that much money. We were just talking about a company that we had that I think their gross revenues were $100 million, but their net was $8 million after paying all of their expenses. So again, it's the different strategies that can help lower your costs. There's one other that I'm going to just tell you real briefly about. That's an initiative. You got to have a minimum of 10 employees. There's 6 major health benefits you can get, such as 24/7 access to a doctor on your phone, mental health access. You can have your all of your prescriptions for like $1, and it's about 3 or 4 other things. So the benefits are to the employee, because the government is trying to keep these employees healthy before they reach age to get diabetes and high blood pressure, right?
So not only is it beneficial for the employer, it's also beneficial for the employees, because now they have more resources, more benefits, and the company can invest in the employees, which is what we all need. We all need human capital.
Yeah, and so that particular program, let me tell you what the employer gets. He gets $500 tax credit against his payroll taxes every year per employee. But the employees, what also comes with that program is the employee gets a retirement plan based on whole life insurance of $150,000 per employee. That, guess what? The beautiful thing about that particular program, it's free to the employees and it's free to the employer.
Wow.
It's all free. I love free.
So it's kind of like you're offering security and not charging. I'm assuming you have a fee to consult people on this, but the employer gets these benefits for free.
Everything is free that Uncle Dan does.
Wow.
Nothing that I do that we charge anything up front on. Everything we do is free. It's either if there is something that we may share some revenue on the back end, or the majority of them is just paid on the back end, not by the employer or the employee.
So there's no barrier to entry.
No barrier to entry. It's just education.
That's it.
They don't know about this kind of stuff.
Wow.
A lot of blockchain companies that are using your services.
Do you work with a lot of blockchain companies, Dan, that are using your services?
That's why I am here, is to educate them. I'm trying to let blockchain companies know that we have all of this for them, because especially when you're new in the blockchain, a lot of companies are startups. They're just struggling to keep the doors open. They're paying the bills. And if they knew some of this was available, they'd be all over it. And that's why I'm here talking to as many companies as I can.
Can you also define R&D for the audience that may not know what R&D means?
It's real easy. Research and development.
So what qualifies as research and development?
Any new process that your company is doing that has any type of little technology advancement or new, that qualifies as R&D. Like take the yogurt company. They didn't think they even qualified, right? They have a $20 million annual is what they profit per year, and they thought they didn't qualify. What do? They went in and took a look. You know how you mix the different flavors for the yogurt?
So they had to do the research to find the right flavor.
Yeah, so you're mixing flavor. That qualifies you for R&D. So much so they get a check back now for $1.3 million or more every year.
I love it. I love it. So we're gonna wrap this up shortly. Do you have any? Let's go to Lisa. Closing remarks.
Yeah, I think you should talk to your blockchain companies that are working with you and tell them they need to think about privacy, especially if they're in the medical field. Think about medical data. Blockchain is a great solution, but you gotta also think about the privacy.
Dan, you want to wrap it up?
Absolutely. You know, if you're out there and you're a business and you're leaving money on the table, we want to make sure that you take advantage of every tax credit and refund that's available to your company. So all you need to do is reach out to UncleDanConsulting.com. We'll just have a conversation and go from there.
Can you say that one more time? Uncle Dan at what?
UncleDanConsulting.com.
All right, and then how can they find you, Lisa?
I'm Lisa at scrt.network. scrt.network.
Say that one more time, Lisa.
Lisa at scrt, short for secret.network.
And my name is Cliff Pierre. You can find me at Cliff Pierre CEO on Instagram. I am honored to be with Lisa, the incredible privacy lady, and Dan, Uncle Dan, the tax man. See you guys next time, and shout out to View. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much. All right.